The question of evil in human existence has always preoccupied human thought throughout the ages. Where does evil come from? Is it an independent force or a result of human weakness? These questions have led to the formulation of numerous stories and narratives about the origin of evil, embodied in the character of Satan. These stories vary in detail and are similar, but they share a basic theme: a being who was originally angelic or divine transforms into an evil force. This force opposes goodness and works to corrupt the world and tempt humanity. The purpose of these narratives goes beyond mere storytelling. They are profound attempts to explain the presence of evil and suffering in the world. They also provide a framework for understanding the eternal struggle between opposing forces within the human psyche and throughout the universe. The three Abrahamic faiths, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, offer distinct but related perspectives on the figure of Satan. Each adds unique layers to our understanding of this opposing entity. These perspectives form a fundamental part of their theology and understanding of the universe. In Christianity, Satan is often known as Lucifer, meaning bringer of light. Lucifer was an angel close to God, possessing great beauty and a high position among the angels. But his pride and unbridled ambition led to his tragic downfall. Christian texts state that Lucifer led a rebellion in heaven against God. This rebellion was motivated by his desire to be equal to, or even superior to, the Creator. As a result, Lucifer and his fallen angel followers were defeated. They were all cast out of heaven to earth, where Lucifer became known as Satan or the devil. In Christianity, Satan represents absolute evil and perpetual temptation. He is viewed as God's chief enemy, relentlessly seeking to tempt humanity and lead them away from the path of truth and salvation. Christian narratives portray Satan as an active force in the world. He spreads sin and despair and attempts to corrupt divine creation. This struggle between God and Satan is a central theme of the Christian cosmic drama. Satan is believed to be the source of all evil and temptations facing humanity. However, the Christian faith affirms that God's power is greater and that salvation is available to those who resist Satan's temptations and follow the path of Christ. In Judaism, the concept of Satan appears differently from the later Christian conception. In the Old Testament, Satan is often referred to as Satan, a word meaning provocateur or instigator. He is not necessarily an independent evil force. Rather, he is viewed as an angelic being who serves as an instrument in God's hand. His primary function is to test humans and prove their loyalty. This role is clearly demonstrated in the book of Job, where Satan challenges Job's faith and God allows him to test him. In this context, Satan is not an enemy of God, but rather a part of his heavenly court. He performs a specific function within the divine plan. His role is to reveal the dark side of human nature or to highlight the power of true faith. Over time, the Jewish concept of Satan evolved, particularly in intertestamental and Talmudic literature. He began to be viewed as a more independent force, one that opposed God and sought to tempt humans toward sin. This development reflects diverse cultural and intellectual influences. It also demonstrates an attempt to explain evil in a world where God appears to be all-powerful and all-good. However, the Jewish emphasis remains on the individual responsibility of man to choose good or evil. The concept of Satan in Judaism does not rise to the level of a cosmic enemy of God as it does in Christianity. Rather, he often remains a force operating within the bounds of divine will. He represents the internal and external challenges facing humanity in its pursuit of holiness. In Islam, Satan is known as Iblis. His story differs fundamentally from the Christian and Jewish narratives in some key aspects. Iblis is not an angel, but a jinn. Jinn are creatures created from fire and, like humans, have free will. Satan's disobedience occurred when God commanded the angels and jinn to prostrate to Adam, the first human. Satan refused, considering himself superior to Adam. His argument was that he was created from fire, while Adam was created from clay. This refusal was motivated by pride and envy. Because of this disobedience, Satan was cast out of paradise and cursed until the day of judgment. But he asked God to grant him respite until that day. Satan vowed to tempt humanity and lead them astray from God's straight path. In Islam, Satan is viewed as a sworn enemy of humanity. He strives to mislead humanity and lead them astray from the path of God. He uses temptations and seductions to lead people into sin and polytheism. However, Satan's power is limited. He does not have the power to compel humans to do evil. Rather, his role is limited to temptation and embellishment. The ultimate decision to respond to or resist his temptations rests with the individual. The Holy Quran emphasizes that Satan has no power over God's faithful servants. Satan's story is a warning to humanity against arrogance and envy. It is also a reminder of the importance of obedience to God in acknowledging the Creator's grace. The concepts of evil and Satan transcend the Abrahamic religions and appear in various forms within other belief systems. These religions offer unique insights into the nature and source of evil. They also reflect the diversity of human thought in confronting this universal phenomenon. Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest monotheistic or dualistic religions. This religion presents a clear concept of evil in the figure of Engra Mainyu, also known as Ahriman. He is a completely independent evil force. Engra Mainyu is the absolute opposite of Ahura Mazda, the benevolent and luminous god. Engra Mainyu represents darkness, destruction, and chaos. He is the source of all evil in the world, from disease to natural disasters and the evil actions of humans. The conflict between Ahura Mazda and Engra Mainyu is an eternal cosmic struggle. This struggle encompasses all aspects of existence. Humans are called to choose the side of good and support Ahura Mazda in this struggle. Zoroastrianism believes that this struggle will ultimately end with the victory of good. This victory will lead to the renewal of the world and its purification from all evil. This dualistic concept of good and evil has greatly influenced subsequent religions. In Hinduism, there is no single central demonic figure in the Western sense. There is no single entity representing absolute evil or an enemy of God. Instead, evil forces manifest in multiple forms. Hinduism has deities and figures with negative or destructive natures. These figures are often part of the cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. They are not necessarily purely evil, but rather represent certain aspects of existence. Examples of such characters are the Rakshasas. They are demonic beings or evil spirits. They often appear as obstacles to heroes or gods. They represent dark and evil forces that must be overcome. Evil in Hinduism is often understood as a result of negative karma or as part of Maya, illusion, that obscures spiritual truth. The goal is to transcend these negative forces and attain enlightenment and liberation. Buddhism, like Hinduism, does not contain the concept of the devil in the Western sense. There is no evil god or cosmic entity opposing good. Instead, the concept of evil focuses on internal and external obstacles to enlightenment. The figure most closely associated with the concept of the devil in Buddhism is Mara. Mara is not an absolutely evil entity. Rather, he is the embodiment of the temptations and obstacles that prevent beings from achieving liberation. Mara represents lust, fear, doubt, and death. He attempts to seduce the Buddha and prevent him from attaining enlightenment. But the Buddha overcomes Mara through meditation and wisdom. In Buddhism, evil is often understood as the product of ignorance, attachment, and desire. These are the three poisons that cause suffering. Overcoming these poisons is the path to nirvana. This journey through different religions reveals an astonishing variety of details in the stories of Satan's birth and the incarnation of evil. However, these narratives are united by one fundamental idea: the existence of a force opposing good. Satan, in his many forms, represents the embodiment of this eternal struggle between good and evil. He represents the force that seeks to tempt humanity and lead them astray from the path of truth. He also represents the challenges facing the human spirit. These stories are not just meant to entertain or frighten. They provide a rich framework for understanding the nature of evil and suffering in the world. They also offer profound explanations for the reasons for the existence of pain and injustice. In essence, these narratives remind us of the importance of choice. They are a call for humans to choose the path of good and avoid evil. They also urge us to resist temptations and work for righteousness and justice. Studying these concepts opens up broad horizons for academic debate and religious analysis. It also deepens our understanding of our shared human heritage, a heritage that constantly seeks to answer the great questions of existence and purpose.